Is Max Holloway a massive favorite going into the UFC 308? You know, guys, it's been a long time since UFC made this Zoom call press conference. You know, the last time I remembered something like this was, I think, Adesanya versus Paulo Costa. No, I think Adesanya versus Marvin Vittori. That is when I remembered this kind of Zoom press conference, you know, when they have this person in the middle who asks two fighters question, you know. It's been a while. So UFC bringing it for this 308 card for the main event was a little bit interesting, you know. I won't say it was the best, you know, Zoom press conference of all time. I think if it's not one of the best, it's among the best, you know. So what am I going to say? In 2 weeks' time, UFC 308 card will be up for grabs. You know, the main event, the flyweight championship belt will be on the line. So you're talking about two big fighters. That's two big fights. The main event, even the card alone is a very stark card. But I'm talking about this big fight coming up on that 308 card, which is Max Holloway and Ilia Topuria. So the question is Max Holloway a massive favorite for that fight? Or y'all think Ilia Topuria is a big favorite despite what he did to Alex Volkanovski? You know, guys, if you look at the history of UFC, like I said, UFC has already given us a lot of surprises. Big fight, massive fight, big entertaining fight in the history, bloody fight. And to be honest with you, looking at these two guys, who is going to be the main event of UFC 308, this has a potential to be one of the best fights in the history of the UFC. So going back to the press conference, guys, it was really interesting. It was absolutely interesting because you're talking about two guys who their last fight, they ended it in a spectacular fashion. Max Holloway has been a UFC legend. He's been there for a long time. I mean, nobody expected him to beat Justin Gaethje the way he beat him, the way he finished Justin Gaethje. That, especially that last 10 seconds, was absolutely crazy. Ilia Topuria, on the other hand, has been on a winning streak for a long time. He beat Bennett and knocked out Alex Volkanovski, who has never been knocked out in his weight division. Many people say Alex Volkanovski wasn't there because of his mental state of what happened between him and Islam Makhachev, and Ilia Topuria took advantage of that. But mind you, Ilia Topuria has been on a spectacular run before facing Alex Volkanovski. The interview between between Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway was made in a Zoom call. And to be honest, I've seen a lot of press conferences this year, and this Zoom call outsmart and even outstruck most of the press conference we had this year. It was really intense, it was really interesting, and you can see two guys who are ready to go for it come 308 in Abu Dhabi. Like I said, it was a very interesting press conference. It was a very interesting call between these two fighters, interview. You know, Ilia Topuria had a mindset. I came out in some of the recent videos I watched on YouTube because I follow a lot of MMA world, interview, talk, news and stuff. I follow it a lot. And I see a lot of people, you know, discrediting Ilia Topuria for what he did in the live call, you know. And I felt like if you guys can discredit or talk trash against Ilia Topuria, what are people going to say about Colby Covington, who is one of the most horrible trash talkers in the history of UFC? What are you going to say about Conor McGregor? I mean, these kind of people, they do everything possible to sell fight. They could even insult your mom, your father. If they know anything about your background, they are going to use it against you. So people were like saying a lot of silly talk against Ilia Topuria for bringing his belt and being overconfident. Some people call it arrogant, some people call it cocky. I just think he is confident in what he's going to do because, you know, you already know when somebody means what he says. You know, it It's a feeling, it's a vibe when somebody look at you in the face and tell you, I'm going to do this to you. If you watch his fight against Alex Volkanovski, he told Alex Volkanovski, he mentioned the statement. He said, I respect you, you are the best in the division, but I believe it's my time, and I'm going to win you, I'm going to knock you out. And he did it in a spectacular fashion. I am not saying he's going to come out and knock Max Holloway, because remember, Max Holloway have never been knocked out since he stepped foot in the UFC. The press conference, the live call was really interesting, like I told you. The interviewer asked a lot of questions, and they didn't allow the interviewer even say anything. It was like back and forth interaction, very, very interesting interaction they had between these two fighters. It was tough, it was interesting, and it caught a lot of eyes. And what I can see from that interview is just fireworks. Like, these men, they can't even wait to start. They can't even wait to get at each other at the stage. Ilia Topuria was asked what he thought and what he thinks is going to happen on that day. They are going to step foot in the cage between Max Holloway and him. He said he's going to knock him out. He said he's going to drop him in the old people's house, old people apartment, according to what he said. Very funny line he used. He also brought out the fake BMF belt. All he did at that press conference was just to annoy Max Holloway. And listen, you do what you want to do to sell the fight. This is the way Ilia Topuria wants to sell this fight. And I believe some of the things he says, he actually meant it. He's not one of these people that are just going to sell a fight and not do anything. I think Ilia Topuria, if you look at him, he says things and he do it. But you can't just neglect the fact that Max Holloway have been there in a very long time. Max Holloway is known to be somebody who is going to be there every time and is going to give you one of the best fights. We also know Max Holloway as somebody who doesn't trash talk. But this this live call, this interview between the two of them, it was really trash talk. First time I saw Max Holloway a little bit pissed off and a little bit irritated. I don't know if it's because of the BMF belt. I don't know if it's because of what he said, Ilia Topuria said. Ilia Topuria kind of disrespected him a little bit. So that's why, like, this thing alone is enough to sell fight. So I don't know why people coming out and trash talking Ilia Topuria for what he did in the live call. I don't know why, but this is what he does to sell fights. You people are not saying anything against Colby Covington, about other fighters who who talks a little bit deep about people's life. I didn't see this guy trash talks Max Holloway. He told Max Holloway he's his fan. And meanwhile, besides, Max Holloway started that beef with him. When you're about to fight somebody and you're telling somebody, oh, he's a fan. And one thing I like about Ilia Topuria is he never shy away from what he has said before. If it's other fighters, they will like try to shun it out. He was told by Max Holloway, he's a fan, and he said, yes, I'm a fan, and what? I'm a fan of what you did. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to knock you out. It's a very strong statement. I'm not going to go into details of everything they said, but I just felt like it was a very interesting live call. And to be honest, what I saw from these two guys, they're going to leave it out. They're going to leave everything out on that day, on October 20th. I don't know if it's October 28th. I don't know the date. Somebody let me know what date. I think in 2 weeks' time, they're going to fight. So I think it's in October 28th. But I'm just coming out here to let you know that I can't wait for that fight. I honestly want to know your opinion about the press conference, the live call. I've been making this mistake, press conference. I don't know if it's press conference or live call or video call or Zoom call, whatever. But all I want to say is it was an interesting talk, interesting conversation between these two people. It was really heated trash talk. Max Holloway looks ready, looks irritated by words of Ilia Topuria, and Ilia Topuria doesn't even care. Just keep hitting the nail on the head. You're going out on the way and somebody try to threaten you, hey, from the vibe of somebody, you know that this guy is just all talk and no action. But these two guys, they are going to fight. They're going to fight in 2 weeks' time. So they gave opportunity to talk to themselves in a live call. And to be honest with you, I only saw sincerity in both of these guys. They can't wait in 2 weeks. They can't wait for October 26 or 28. They can't wait for that day to arrive. And we, the fans, we can't also wait for that day to arrive. We want to see a big fight. And this is going to give us one of that big fights we're expecting in the year 2024. Don't sleep on this fight because every minute somebody might get knocked out and it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be very bloody because these people have huge beef against each other. I think they have respect for each other, but there is a beef in there because you could see clearly in the interview, two of them were going at it. They don't like each other. It wasn't like the one of Alex Volkanovski. It wasn't like the one of the other people Ilia Topuria's fight. But Ilia Topuria, this one he got at it. It's like two of them, they are going at each other. One of the things Ilia Topuria said, he said, Max Holloway avoid to fight him. I don't think Max Holloway avoid fights. Max Holloway always fight whoever is in front of him. So that statement alone even got Max Holloway pissed off. Just to tell you the kind of fight you're going to expect in 2 weeks' time. I can't wait for that fight, guys. I can't wait. Let me know what you think about the interview. I mean, like I told you, I won't come here. I won't tell you everything they say, but I will advise you just watch it and analyze what you see. And I would like to know what you think about the interview. Am I just the only one who can't wait for the fight? I think many people, many of you guys can't wait for the fight. I honestly appreciate the love you guys are showing to me on my channel. Like I told you, it's a sport channel, a fighting channel most especially, and we are getting to improve. Guys, let me know what you think about this video. Give it a like, subscribe, leave a comment on it, and see you on the next one. Peace.